All right, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us on Facebook today. We are going to cover termite swarm season and what homeowners should and should not be concerned about during this time of the year. My name's Colby Cron. I'm the general manager with Red Pest Solutions. Here with me today we have Trip Brewer, quality assurance manager, and Chris Mosley, associate certified entomologist who serves as our business development director.
All right, I appreciate that, Colby. So as he said, we're going to talk a little bit about termite swarm season today. And anytime you're talking about a swarm, you're talking about flying insects. So what can you expect when swarm season arrives? It usually occurs between February and the end of the summer. There are two peak times for each of our subterranean species of termites. And March and May is primarily eastern subterraneans. Or those are the Reticulotermes flavipes. And then May through July is primarily our Formosan termites, Ecoptotermes formosanus. There is a third species that does swarm, but much more uncommon, and that's the drywood termites. They usually swarm late in May to July and during the evening hours. In the case of the eastern subterranean termites, swarms almost always occur during the day, and they are attracted to windows because they like that natural light. These insects will be black in color. It's important to note that just because you see them around a window, it does not necessarily mean that the termites swarmed out of that window. Again, the light attracts them, so they could have been in an entirely different part of the house, in an interior wall, but that's why you need a professional to look at it. Now, as far as our Formosan termites go, these also occur at night. They're swarms. They'll be attracted to lights, and they are light brown in color. So at night, people have lights on, street lights are on, and you'll see these things swarming all around the light. When springtime arrives, don't just look for the flying insects. And the reason that's important, termites, they really have to be infested in a wall for a couple of years before you even know they're there, or before they swarm, I guess is what I'm trying to say. What you need to be looking for is any soft spots in the wall, any mud coming out of the wall. Maybe you notice some paint peeling. You see anything like that, you should have a professional with a trained eye come out and take a look at it just to be absolutely sure.
All right, thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. So now we're going to talk about when to be concerned about termites. So first off, if your home hasn't been treated since its construction, you definitely need to have somebody out to get an inspection done. Let's say your original treatment back when the house was built, within a 10-year span, that liquid treatment is already deteriorating. So having somebody out to take a look at that always is a great idea. So let's say your home has been treated, and whether it has been or hasn't, if you're starting to see these little flying insects inside your house, or you're seeing a large quantity of wings, or you're seeing little ant-like creatures in your house, you definitely are going to want a licensed pest control operator out to take a look at the house. So if your house has previous termite activity, you definitely want to keep on top of having somebody out to take a look at the house or have that inspection done. As Chris was talking about, when you're seeing all these different types of conducive conditions in the house, you definitely want to have that person out, because these conducive conditions around the house, whether it be foundation cracks, wood-to-ground contact, expansion joints, we were talking about earlier, the spray foam insulation inside of the attics are really, really bad conducive conditions because they can hold moisture. If you have standing water against the foundation, that's always a cause for concern. Even if you don't see any of these conducive conditions, it's always good to have somebody to inspect the house, because you never know. There's these licensed pest control operators, they have an eye for these things. When they come out, they're looking for certain things that maybe to an untrained eye wouldn't look too suspicious. So when the inspector comes out, always heed the advice given to you by these professionals. If there's wood up against the house, like firewood, or if there's standing water, a roof leak, if they point out something, try to get it fixed or move the wood or whatever they suggest as soon as possible, because the advice they're giving you could save you a lot of time and money having to deal with these termites. So, if you're seeing any of these things or you're having any of these issues, it's always better to be safe than sorry and have a pest control operator out, especially with Red. We have, free inspections, so it doesn't hurt anything to call and have us inspect the house. So.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk a little bit about the inevitable for some people, right? A large percentage of homeowners out there will, in fact, one day get termites in their home. And, Your home is your most important asset that you have, so it's very important that you protect it and act accordingly when you do have an infestation. But don't panic, but don't wait either. They're not going to eat your house down overnight, but do call, like Tripp said, a licensed pest control operator out to do a good quality inspection, and they'll let you know what next steps you need to take. Here at Red Pest Solutions, we use a product called Centricon Recruit HD. It is developed by Corteva Agriscience, formerly known as Dow. It's a tremendous product. It was developed at the University of Florida over a decade ago and has proven itself time and time again. It has a great track record for complete colony elimination. And it does that through an active ingredient that actually prevents the colony from being able to molt, thus being able to reproduce and feed the colony. So the queen dies and the colony dies, and you have complete control of your property, as it should be. So definitely consider Centricon. If you're in the Southeast, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, call the Red Man. We'll be happy to get you a quote for Centricon around your property. Otherwise, there are other companies around the country that do offer this product as well. It's very popular and is the leading product on the market. If you do have a swarm, however, and you are already treated, you already have Centricon or another like product around your property, it doesn't always mean you'll never see a swarm, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes the swarm does come from the outside, a stump in the yard, a tree, a wooden fence, maybe even your neighbor's house next door. That's definitely something you need to be aware of, but it's not a red alarm, red alert going off. Check with your company, check with your operator, definitely send them some good quality pictures. Keep a good specimen that they can identify and make sure it is in fact a termite, not a swarming ant or another species out there. But as long as your house has been treated, under contract, being inspected on an annual basis, you should have nothing whatsoever to worry about. Last topic we want to touch on here, it's more and more common each and every year, is people doing a DIY treatment. So you do have active termites and you decide, I got that quote from the company. It's a little bit more than I thought it was going to be. Let me see if I can try and do this myself. We certainly want to discourage you from doing that, and there's several reasons why. First of which, the time involved, the time commitment. And secondly, the quality products that are on the market are required to be applied by a licensed pest control operator, whether you're talking about baits or liquids. Most of the over-the-counter products are going to be at a much lower concentration or may even be just for monitoring purposes only. So you don't want to have that false sense of security when you're trying to eliminate termites from your property. Like I said, it's the most important investment that you have is your home, most valuable for many, many people out there. So do it right the first time. Don't regret it later.
Sounds good. That was really good information from both of these guys. Hopefully, as a homeowner, this will give you a little bit of peace of mind and some direction on what to do when swarm season arrives. I can tell you that at Red Pest Solutions, we are always ready to tackle any pest or termite issue. We've got plenty of trained people that can handle it. So if you encounter an issue, remember, call the Red Man.
Call the Red Man. Call the Red Man. Red Man, come and drive those pests away.